Hey, how's it going? That's Make It Bang by Het VerZet. And something tells me that we're coming to the tenure of that song be the intro song because I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting downtown, get rid of her. I'm ready to toss her in the swamp. I'm sick of that song. I need to find a new intro song. And I gotta tell you, it lasted me a good 2 months, maybe. I think that's pretty good for intro song before I just want to pull my hair out every single time I hear it. Because you can say what you want about music, but like other good things, no matter how much you like a song, there is a point that you hit where you can no longer enjoy listening to that song, where you would much rather be like pounding your head off the concrete. There's no good point. Every song only sounds good so many times. The same way that, I don't know. But you can't do it. If you space it out and you listen to it over an extended period of time, like you can keep it as a song you like when it comes on, but can you ever like it as much as you did the first couple times you listened to it? No. But you know what the opposite of that is? Food. You can like it more the more you do it. Does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Makes absolutely perfect sense because you perfect the mac and cheese, You don't change up your diet, you make it better. Why would you eat healthy if you could add more seasoning? No point. Why would you try to lose weight and be healthy if you can make it taste good with salt or sugar, I don't know. Oh, funny. I love when I bring that up to like most people. They're like, I don't think it's actually that kind of stuff that's really causing all these problems. Well, like still denying that, sugar doesn't kill everybody. Not kill everybody, but make everybody sick. Not sick, but like obese. Anyway, what's going on with me? I'm glad you asked. I was down by the lakeside, down on the water, down by the Leachy Silver Lake. There are leeches in that lake. I want to let you know. I got eaten by one last week. I got devoured because my blood is just the top of the line stuff, just filled with red cells. It's Michelin star blood. No, I actually don't attract that. I don't really attract mosquitoes as much as some people do, but there's a lot of surface area in my body to bite, so I think that's what makes me an easy target. But I was like launching this boat into the water. I literally had my feet in the water for 10, 15 seconds. I got out of the water, walked up, sat down. I was like, what the heck's that black thing on my foot? Tried to pull it off. It stuck to me. It's got its mouth stuck on me. And I just started pulling its body. I'm like, oh! It's like, I don't know. I want to look into that as leech repellent. Does vomiting on your leech get rid of it? I don't think it does. But no. And then I was like, just look up how I saw, look up the cure. Just look it up. Just figure it out. He's like, okay, well, you go get some salt. I'm like, why would I have table salt down here by the lake? Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, that's out the window. So I forced it off. I ripped it off, put my nail into it, and yanked it off, and then I dissected it with a rock. Because I needed to get revenge for it biting me, for it doing its job by biting a warm-blooded animal. Maybe they don't only eat warm blood. Maybe they also like the cold blood. Maybe the leeches, that's like the human equivalent of hot coffee versus iced coffee. Some prefer the fish, some prefer the humans. Just depends what you need on a hot summer's day. Because not all of us can be drinking 88 degree Tim's coffee. It's not Fahrenheit. You know? I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I just, like, how does a leech bite you within 10 seconds of putting your feet in the water? That's my real question. You know? Like, what are the chances of that happening? It's got to be so low. And the amount of kids I just see, like, frolicking in the water, like, like, there's no point that I've been down there when I've heard, like, a kid get out of the water, like, leech! You know, just screaming at the top of their lungs. Because you know, if a kid got a leech on them, it wouldn't be, like, it would take a real special kid to not, like, announce it to the entire beach. You know? And that's just how kids are. They dramatize everything. Everything that happens. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of amazed that I haven't heard of it yet. And like yet I had my feet in the water for 15 seconds and nothing happened. You know? But I gotta say the foot isn't the worst place to get bitten. Like it wasn't on the bottom, it was kinda on the top, and I could easily pull it off. But like imagine a leech bit you on like your back or your ass or something and you couldn't see it, you could just feel it on you. That's so disgusting. What a terrible animal. You know? I don't know why they have to be around here. Why do they have to be so leechy? Leech. It's funny that leech is like a blood-sucking black slug, but it's also like a Chinese onion. You know? I wonder if there was any correlation when they named those things. Like, whoa, you know? They're just like, wow, this thing looks like a leech. I'm not going to do any accents. You know? That's funny. Speaking of blood-sucking terrors, is there any better feeling than, like, destroying a mosquito mid-suck? You know? And just seeing the blood fly everywhere. I don't know why. I'm just, like, I don't know. I find it very satisfying. Because I feel like I'm going back to my primal urges. Like, blood, and then I smear it everywhere. I think that's just because I'm weird. I don't know. I smoked a mosquito against the wall today, and it was filled with blood. It literally exploded, and I felt so proud of myself. I'm like, wow, I am incredible. I am just out here destroying mosquitoes mid-suck. Ugh, classic. Anyways, I was down at the beach today. There was some ruckus going on between some high school girls. They were, I don't know. I kind of didn't realize high school girls could get so mean to each other, but there was some real tension between some friend groups, I guess, or one individual and everybody else, and I don't know. There's like a lot of like telling other people they'd physically harm them and then like kill them and then like how ugly they were, you know? It's really the positive talk I wanted to hear today. Anyway, so the mom showed up. She came up to me. She's like, hey, just so you know, my daughter and her friend are here, and there's these girls also at the park that have told them that they want to hurt them. Can you just keep an eye on them? And I was like, okay, I'll jump to the rescue, ma'am. I'll slide in there. I'll deck some high school girls. No. I don't know. I was just like, okay, I'll call 911. Anyway, and then most of it was just like yelling back and forth at each other about how dumb each other were. And then the lifeguards had to ask one of them to leave. And then the cops got called because they were, I don't know, who knows? It was a little bit weird. And then they were trying to draw them in to fight them, you know? Like 2 grade 10 girls were going to have a proper fight, you know? It's like, obviously neither of them are trained in jiu-jitsu. Nothing was going to happen. It's just a lot of threatening. And then the cops came. They're like, well, you know what? This kind of stuff happens. Anyway. And I was kind of just like, oh, that's too bad. But like, this isn't stuff that I've seen in my high school where like shit got tense, you know? People did not like each other. And there's some rough kids out there, you know? So I wasn't like overly like devastated by that. I was devastated by some guy. I don't even know if I want to bring this up because it's going to make me sad. I don't even know if I can make a joke about this. There's some guy sitting in his truck, literally just looking at girls, just looking at girls with his binoculars. And in like a dirty, rusty old truck, he's just sitting there looking at the girls with his binoculars. Just like, what is this guy doing here? And then I told the lifeguard, she's like, oh yeah, I've seen him around a couple times. You know, I don't really know what to say to him. I was like, it's pretty easy what to say. Do you know anybody here? No? Get lost. It's like so odd. I don't know. I should have gone up and said something. I just went over and I was just staring at him. Like he saw me staring at him. And he literally was obviously using binoculars to look at people. Like obviously. And then the cops showed up like literally the same time. And Buddy just pretended like he was just sitting there having a nice time. He put the binoculars away. He's like looking out his window. He's like, oh, look at the clouds. It's like, okay, Buddy, you're not here looking at the clouds. Anyway, I was just like, what is going on here? I don't know. I'm not sure why I didn't say anything. I kind of was running a business and felt that maybe I didn't want to involve myself with some weird old man. But I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't be that hard to kick out a guy that's like laundering around the park where children are, you know. It's a little gross. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and I'm gonna save that one because I think you could do that not too confrontationally rather than going up to him. It's like, what are you doing here, you sicko? You know, just go up to him. It's like, hey, buddy, do you know anyone here? What are you looking at through the binoculars? Any nice birds right around where all the young girls are at the beach? Okay, well, since you don't know them, it's time you better scam. I don't know. I don't know if there's a nice way to go through that. Because it's like, I don't know. As much as I want to be violent and upset with this guy, it's like, I'm not gonna go up and like slash his tires or something. It's not really all that much. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And it's kind of weird that like I was the only one that's found that crazy. I kept telling people and everybody was like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but like, what can you do? It's like, what can you do? You can tell Creepo over there to leave. Anyway, it's okay. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And I will be the defender of the park going forward. I'm going to go just have a nice talk with that guy next time I see him because that made me uncomfortable. So yeah, that's part of the fun. The other part of the fun is that I realized over the weekend that down at the park, there's a dock, and a lot of kids like to jump off the dock because they're kids, and docks are fun to jump off. And they have what the heck's this guy called? The bylaw enforcer. He's the bylaw enforcer. I don't know what he does. Like hands out parking tickets, make sure signs are in the right place. You know, he enforces the law that is not important enough to enforce for police. He's like 6. I don't want to insult him too bad because I'm sure he's a nice dude and he's just doing it for the summer. But it's like, I don't know. I'm not upset with the guy that does this. I'm upset that the town pays a person to come down to the lake and tell people they can't jump off the dock because it's for boats. You know, it's like, really? This is what we're putting our money towards? Paying this kid to drive the bylaw enforcer car down here and tell kids to get off the dock? Is this really a priority? Do we really need somebody doing this? It seems like there's a lot of other issues we could focus on rather than making these dumb bureaucratic laws stopping people from jumping off docks. I don't know. I'm just like, these kids are having so much fun, and the bylaw officer goes down. And he's like, well, excuse me, kids. Did you know that according to law 4.612 in Sackville's constitutional rights, you're not actually allowed to step your right pinky toe on this here dock? It's just like, buddy, this is so unnecessary. So unnecessary. It's like you couldn't, I don't know. There's nothing better you can be doing. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's just dumb stuff. And it's not even his fault. It's whoever's idea it was to make that law, because that they got elected to Senate and they had nothing they could pass because they are senators in Sackville. So all they had to do, the only law they passed through, is the law to stop kids from jumping off the dock. I don't know. It's like, really, is this really a productive use of our time? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways. Anywho, yeah, that's most of my week. Yeah, I had a rugby game on Saturday. Played pretty well. Was happy with it. Got destroyed by the sun on Saturday and Sunday, which is fun. But we're back, and we're back again. Okay. I'm going to talk more about my camping this week and possibly RFK. Ooh, spoiler alert. Okay. Next song, The Vibe by the Audible Doctor. Sorry. That was not the best outro. Sorry. I stopped it a little early. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. That was The Vibe by the Audible Doctor with Odyssey and Hassan McKay, the Audible Doctor. I don't know why. This guy's, his Spotify account description is, I do stuff sometimes. It's very descriptive, sir. Anyway, I went camping this week, which is fun. Forgot how fun it is to sleep on hard rock. But genuinely speaking, when you get back from camping, it's like, I don't know, you're so much more appreciative for the stupid stuff that you have. It's like, oh, look at this, a bed. I don't know. What a great invention, What a great invention. I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I look at camping, I'm just like, this isn't really that far away from how people lived like a couple hundred years ago. The only difference is that they had a permanent camp. They had a permanent tent that was built out of dung. Now we have permanent houses built out of concrete and wood. It's like, how old is a comfortable bed, Probably not that old. I doubt beds over 100 and something years ago were really all that comfortable. Like, no matter how rich you were, there was no material available that could make it actually comfortable to sleep on. And yet now every single bed is at least somewhat comfortable. Even the blow-up mattresses we make now are comfortable. I don't know. It's amazing how it's changed. It's amazing. It's It's incredible. Okay. Let's stop talking about myself. Have you seen RFK Jr., latest Democratic nominee? Controversial. A Kennedy speaks with a disability. I think he's got a vocal disability. I think that's a politically correct way to put that. He has a vocal disability. What else about him? He's an environmentalist lawyer. He doesn't like vaccines very much. He doesn't like the Democratic Party that much. He doesn't like the media that much. I don't know. I don't really agree with a lot of stuff he says, but I gotta tell you, like, he's the first guy I've seen in a couple of years where I'm like, this guy genuinely has no one that could, like, I don't know. I can't really see much economic incentive behind backing up RFK Jr. other than just to cause mayhem in the U.S. But he's actually the first guy that strikes me where, like, all of his policies, like, I don't know. His policy is basically every single policy the Democrats and Republicans don't talk about are the ones that screw us the worst. I don't know. Why don't we ask Chat GTP? Chat GBT. GBT? GBT. Oh, come on. No. Oh, darn. That's unfortunate. We can't ask Chat GBT. Maybe we can ask Bing. Okay. Anyways, well, I'll look up his platform anyway later. Yeah, he's a very interesting man. I really like him because he is articulate in a way that a lot of others are not, and he's willing to go out of his way to talk about stuff that will blatantly stop him from appearing on every single source of media, you know? Not to mention, he's also frickin' jacked, which is why I brought him up, because there's like some funny video. He's like in his 70s, and he's doing push-ups shirtless with like long blue jeans on. It was hilarious. I don't know. I saw it because he's like a well-spoken, kind of quiet guy. I don't know, quiet is the right word, but he's like, you just kind of I don't really think of him as like some guy that's like trying to show off how ripped he is. Because like a lot of what he talks about is not really, anyways. And then there's just like this video comes out and he's like shirtless at 70 and he's doing push-ups in long jeans, you know? And I got to tell you, doing push-ups in long jeans, there's not much you can, that makes you look very tough. It makes you look very tough. It looks like you belong in prison. Like you just need a bandana around your head and you are set. It looks pretty sick, I got to be honest. Like, I don't know. If you were to show up to the gym in long blue jeans and no shirt, nobody would come close to you. Nobody would get in your vicinity. But you know, you also got to be pretty jacked. But I got to tell you, no shirt and blue jeans at the gym, nobody will fight you. Ever. Nobody will fight you anywhere if you're wearing blue jeans and no shirt. Anywhere you go, if you are somewhat in shape. Because immediately people go, that guy is insane. He is psychotic. You know? I love that. I love thinking about stuff that would just be ridiculously inappropriate to wear in public. And then I chuckle while people stare at me in the superstore. You know? It's a good time. I don't know. I've long thought, like, what would happen if you just walked in with like a cutoff on as a man, you know, not like jacked, but you have to be like pretty out of shape, you know. You just have your cutoff comes down to your man breasts, just walking around, picking up veggies. You're just like, oh, did you hear about the weather last week? People just running by you like, ah! I don't know. Masks are an obvious one. Like if you wear a big chicken mask into the grocery store, it's pretty obvious. You know. I think the other one is like obvious rips in your clothing. Because nothing says, I don't know. It's just like nothing says I take care of myself like having large rips in your pants, you know? I don't know. Whenever I see people with big rips in their pants, I don't know. Makes me question things, you know? Because like Walmart is down the street. A pair of pants is $8 there. It's been shipped straight from the factories in China, and it's gone to your doorstep for $8. Go buy it. Anyway, this isn't very funny. Let's change the topic. Okay, Twitter has changed their name to X, and I said no to X. I gotta be honest with you. I'm tired of Elon Musk and Twitter. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm just sick of his nonsense. I don't know. For a long time, I was like trying to convince myself. I was like, Elon's a normal guy. He's gonna be good to us. And then I realized that he's named his daughter like Zaxi Zhongin Singh or something crazy. And I was just like, okay, this guy is insane. I don't know. It's just like, why do we need to do this? Twitter right now is either like the best thing ever or it's unusable because there's so many scam accounts. It's ridiculous. Every single post you go through the comments, it's literally just all these OnlyFans people commenting, trying to get people to click on their profiles. It's like every single one of them. There's just like blatant porn on the site right now. It's so annoying and stupid. It's just like, this is unusable. It's literally unusable. And like, rather than that, we're changing the name. You know, it's like, oh, the bird is not working out for us. It tweets too much. You know, like what is, like, I think the bird was perfect. Tweeting. Tweet. I don't know what Xing is. You know, it's like an X. We're going to XX, or like, it's literally, I don't know. It's just, it's stupid. It's stupid. I feel like he's just doing it to piss people off too. I don't know. I'm upset about stuff. As a man that has only a certain amount of free time each week to go on my phone, I have to be upset about something. You know? You gotta be. You gotta be about something, mate. Okay. Next song. New Day by Unknown Prophets. And that was A New Day by Unknown Prophets. Unknown Prophets. I don't know why they didn't come out the hatch all that easily. Coming out the hatch. I don't know if I talked about this. Did I talk about this? No, I haven't talked about this. This happened today. Anyways. Yeah. What's with these Saudi Arabian, like, I don't know. Why do the Saudis, this is a stupid question that I kind of know the answer to already, but why do the Saudis have so much damn money? And why do they have so much damn money to spend on European and North American athletes? You know? It's like, what is it? Why do they want to create their own sports league so bad? Is this all part of the plan? You know, this is all part of MBS's big integrate into the modern world plan. It's like, maybe if we shine Mbappe, we will look like a very good country. Ugh, words are not coming out right now. You know, maybe we'll look like the kind of nation people will want to move to. You know, we might kill reporters on occasion. We might have not let women drive till 3 years ago. We might not have any freedom to much at all. But we have Mbappe. You know, it's like, what are you doing here? I don't understand what the plan is. Because it's like, it's so clearly like a government plan to make them look cool. It's like, first, they're like scheming. Like, first we'll sign Phil Mickelson, and then we'll sign DeChambeau, and then we'll get Mbappe. Next thing you know, LeBron James will be living here. It's like, why? It's like, how is paying these athletes tons of money going to make you look? It's like, none of them want to live in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I don't understand the game plan here, boys. It's like, I get that it could be cool, but at the same time, it's like, why? I don't know. It's a stupid plan, in my opinion. If we get Mbappe here, I think we will look like a global superpower. It's just like, no, you don't. Mbappe doesn't make you look cooler than you are. The only thing that signing Mbappe is going to do is make everybody that likes soccer hate you. Hate you, especially the French. And the French, well, I tell you, the French aren't all that nice. No, the French don't take it easily. They like Mbappe. He's born, raised Frenchian, you know, plays for PSG. That's all the soccer knowledge I have. Got a 98 speed rating in FIFA. I don't know. It's just stupid. Like, why are we doing this? You're gonna like sign Ronaldo. You're gonna sign Mbappe to these stupid deals in the Saudi League, and you're gonna have two guys that are literally 15 times better than every other player they're playing with. It's stupid. And you could tell me like, well, Beckett, Saudi Arabia actually beat Argentina in the first game of the FIFA World Cup. It's like, I don't care. I don't care. I really do not care. That doesn't mean dick. Doesn't mean anything. Just does not mean anything. They're not a soccer country. 99% of their country is sand. Have you seen France? It's all pastures. Those boys are out there playing football with the cows. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I look at that and I'm just like, this guy is stupid. That's like buying, I don't know. That's like using 30% of what you make in a year to buy a Rolex so that people think that you have a lot of money. You know, they're doing the same thing, but they're not trying to show how much money they have because everybody knows that they have a lot of oil. They're trying to do that with coolness. You know, it's like, well, if we bring all these cool people to our country, we have to be cool too. And you know what? You know what the story of Saudi Arabia teaches me? It teaches me even losers can buy friends. If you have trillions of dollars, you too can buy the right to be cool. Just like Saudi Arabia, just like Elon Musk, you can buy your way to the coolness. You know? Is there anybody cool? You know, is there anybody cooler in your life than like that guy in grade 5? You know, that everybody just looked at and they're like, that guy was sick. You know, there's just always like that one kid. And you know, that's the coolest person you will ever encounter in your life because he was that cool to you and he had nothing different than what you had. He was just sick. His coolness was 100% based on how he acted, what he said, and who his non-paid friends were. And now, these dumb cool people are like, well, if I pay all these athletes to come to my house, I'm gonna look sick. Isn't that, I don't know, it's like the Michael Rubin story. You know, like the pastiest white man you've ever seen. Like 5'6", most unathletic person ever. I don't know, started selling ball caps or something, made a lot of money. And he's like, well, if I invite Jay-Z and Kim K and LeBron to my house, maybe I'll be cool. I don't know. There's like, I don't know. If you can't see the insecurity on that, if you can't do the math on that, I can't help you. I can't help you. You know, it's just, it's stupid. It's very much dumb. Why can't we just do what normal people do? Or as Beckett does, you know? Why? Okay, anyway. I'm done talking about coolness in countries. Okay. Have you been watching rugby? No, you haven't, because you're a dumb hoser. Get on it. Is there anything better than like starting to tell somebody something and then just correcting them? I don't know. I've been doing I rent out stuff. I love renting out stuff. You have to go through the safety spiel, you know? It's like, so you've never used this equipment. Let me go over how it's used. And then, I don't know. The first thing I say, I'm like, okay, well, this is a bit different than anything else you've ever used. And like, I know it's different. It's like, yeah, that's why I'm explaining it to you. I despise people like that. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like, okay, buddy. I don't know. Stupid. Anyways, we're done ranting about humans. It's time to rant about ruggas. He's trying for some ruggas. Okay, so basically what's going on here is the Rugby World Cup, the biggest rugby tournament in all of the world, is coming up this September and October. Where is it? France, maybe? I can't remember where it is. Shit. Okay. Anyways, the Rugby World Cup is coming up this year. So right now it is the winter tests because it's wintertime in the Southern Hemisphere. If you didn't know what I was talking about, you know, just for all you hosers, it's like, well, what? How is it wintertime in the summertime? It's like, well, let me tell you, you go south that equator, it gets cold real fast there, buddy. Anyways, so I love talking about rugby. It just brings out the Australian in me. So basically, there's been a lot of tests going on. Now, the best teams in the world, I'm not going to go through a full rundown. Anyways, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Argentina have been playing each other. And Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa Probably some of the best teams in the world, including England, France. What am I missing here? Argentina's good. Italy's not bad. Wales isn't bad. Ireland's really good. And then there's Canada and the US, which are like, I don't know, pretty terrible. But just kind of crazy, honestly, because there are good rugby players in this country. But anyway. So, yeah, the tests have been going on. And last week, I don't know. I like New Zealand. I think they're cool. But I also really like South Africa. And South Africa is like the most rugby team in the planet, you know? They're South Africans, so they're born tough. And they are literally, their whole game plan is, we have guys that are larger than your guys, and our guys will hit you harder than your guys, and our guys will run harder at you than your guys. And our guys will win every scrum because we're all bigger and stronger. That's literally the game plan that South Africa goes along with. And they've done that every single cup. They are bigger, stronger, more physical than every team they play. They're so fun to watch because they just bulldoze over people. It's crazy. And New Zealand is really not that kind of team. New Zealand is like the most skilled team in the world. I'd say the most skilled players always come from New Zealand because New Zealand's focus growing up, like, rugby is the number one sport in that country, and people are literally passing rugby balls from the time they're like 4 years old to the time they're 12. And it's only once they hit 12 that they start playing contact rugby. So it's like these people are so skilled by the time they get to that age. It's like the kid that played flag football and then they transition to quarterback. Does that make any sense? No, kind of. Anyway, so last week, New Zealand pulled off a win against South Africa, 35-20. They beat them by 15 points. But that being said, they scored 17 points in the first 20 minutes of the game, which is very crazy how many points you could score in the first 20 minutes of the game. So South Africa won the last Rugby World Cup, and they're up there with the favorites right now, but this is a very big winter for them because they are transitioning through. A lot of their players are getting old, first off, and they're the most important position on your team, the fly half. The guy that they played last World Cup is injured right now, and they're not sure how well he's going to be for the World Cup. So we're in an odd situation, whereas New Zealand, on the other hand, is totally transitioned their front line, but yet they have the exact same back line, plus or minus one addition. And that being said, New Zealand basically has two of the best playmakers in the world playing together. Richie Mo'unga. Bowden Barrett. Cross kick, failed goal. I don't know why I said field goal. It's a beautiful grabber. Put it on the toe. Yeah. It's fun to watch. New Zealand is an incredible team. The passes they make are just ridiculous. Like, I don't know. If you're ever looking for, like, just interested in, like, is rugby interesting to watch? Just watch some Bowden Barrett highlights. He's so fun. He's so fast. He's so skilled. He's an incredible player. Anyways, so this week coming up, I'm very excited. Australia is playing New Zealand at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And South Africa is playing Argentina at Emirates Airline Park. So that should be a good one. My predictions are New Zealand will blow out Australia because Australia is the most bipolar rugby team I've ever seen. They either destroy their opponents by 40 points or they lose like an absolute barn burner. It seems like there's nothing in between. So it's hard to know. And South Africa and Argentina. Argentina is a really good team. I think they beaten South Africa earlier this year, if I'm not incorrect. No, they beat Australia. Sorry. No, they have not played South Africa yet. But that will be a very good game because Argentina has kind of the similar style. They just have some big lads up front, and they can kind of match South Africa in that sense, but there's no way they can match them for 80 minutes. So that'll be a fun one. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to some ruggas this weekend because this is kind of the best time to watch. I haven't been all that dedicated over the last couple, probably for like a year or so, because I just have been busy with other sports. But now that the Rugby World Cup is coming on, it's really getting exciting, because you want to get a good idea of what the teams are looking like coming in. And it's kind of really cool because they just transition through all these players. And when the Rugby World Cup comes around, it's always like, it's so fun to watch these random players that come out of nowhere that just step up and become the best players. Anyway, World Cup time. It's a fun time. The other thing coming up this week, UFC 291 on Saturday. I don't really talk about, I don't know, I talk about UFC mediocrely, but I'm talking about this one because it's got two extremely good fights in it with people that I like. Alex Pereira. I like Pereira. Against John Blachowicz. And Pereira, if you don't know, he is the guy that beat Israel Adesanya. He's literally only had 9 professional mixed martial arts fights, and yet he has been a champion in the UFC. He's one of the most decorated kickboxers of all time. He defeated Israel Adesanya twice in kickboxing, once in MMA, and then lost to him. But yeah, so he's incredible. He's ridiculous. He's like 6'4". He literally walks around 220. He's cut down to 185. He is ridiculous. He's got like one of the scariest left hands I've ever seen. And his fighting style is so weird because he looks like a meerkat. He just keeps his 2 hands up front, and he comes around the corner and he just kicks out of no. He's literally a freak. He's got just scary power. But he's fighting a really, really good opponent, Jan Blachowicz. So I'm excited to see, how that plays out, because Jan is, this is actually Alex Pereira's first fight at light heavyweight. So we're going to see how his weight gaining is going to go. But to be honest though, he's 6'4" and jacked. I don't think he's going to have too much problem trying to make the 205 mark with the fact that he walks around at 220. But at the same time, it's like, these are bigger boys. But that being said, he's the best striker on his feet right now. Him and Adesanya are literally tied for best striker on their feet in the UFC right now, basically. So it's like, there's nobody that can stand with him. It doesn't matter. It's going to be like, can Jan take him down and give him the business? But I don't know if he's going to be able to get to that point, because Pereira is so fast, so strong. And yeah, the other one is Dustin Poirier versus Gaethje. And honestly, I don't know. I don't even think this should have been the main event. I know it's a title fight, and I know Poirier's decorated and Gaethje's a good fighter, but I don't find either of them very interesting. I know Poirier's really good, but I don't know. I see Poirier winning that one. I don't know. Gaethje's gonna be fun. I don't know. I just don't really like the lightweight division. Ever since Khabib retired this year, when did he retire? 2 years ago, middle of COVID. I just the lightweight division's good. The lightweight division is really fun because there's no real good, no one person that's way above the rest. But that being said, it's there's no one person that's way above the best. And it's the part of fighting that's so fun is watching the great guys emerge and just destroy the division. And I feel everybody in that division right now is really good, but nobody's on the next level. And that's what Khabib was. Khabib beat every single person in that division, and he did not lose. And everybody in this division, it's even if Gaethje won, it's is that really that surprising that Dustin lost? It's just going to go back and forth for the next couple years before someone can really step up, So we will see. Okay. Yeah, I think I've almost hit my time, so I am going to, what am I going to do? 10:54. Let's see. Let us see. Rugby World Cup location. It is in France. I nailed it. Oh, I'm the best. Oh, boo. What a good place for the Rugby World Cup. Dans France. I want to see the stadiums it's taking place in. Oh, bro. What a great... I gotta be honest with you. If you think about like soccer or rugby, any kind of World Cup, France is honestly one of the best places you could do that in. Honestly, like France is sick. It's got so many cool stadiums. All the towns are cool. Where else would you want to hold a World Cup? France. France is sick. Every sporting event in France is always awesome. Like the World Cups are awesome. The rugby league there is awesome. The soccer league there is awesome. There's a big cycling race. Monaco, which isn't France, but it's still sick. I don't know. Everything that happens in France is sick, especially the sporting events. Not everything in France. Not the harsh racism and all those protests, but the sports are cool. Okay. And yeah, thanks for listening to Ben Beckfast. Yeah. I'll be on tomorrow from 10 to 11, and you can listen to the old episodes at chma.com/welcome/bed and Beckfast. There's lots of episodes up there if you enjoy the show. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll leave you with a little bit of Fleetwood Mac to cool your nerves. Anyway, have a good one.